Bro, this post is awful. That's terrible. All right, so who's joining the Gooner Gang Green on Spotify? You guys gonna rep that color? What the bro? What the? This cannot be real, dude. Hello nerds, welcome back to an episode of WNN, your source for the music and music production news. We got some new plugins today, free plugins. Same stuff, different day, maybe some different stuff. Not the same day though. Before we get started, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you're new here if you want to stay up to date with the music. In our first story, we have Beam 2.0, which is a free update to a plugin that came out last year. For lack of a better way to describe it, it is a build-it-yourself multi-effects plugin that looks like Final Fantasy nodes. It looks like, I make that joke every single time, but there's nothing else to describe it. And it gives off the vibe that it'll melt your graphics card, but I can say from experience that, I mean, at least on my computer, it runs pretty good. With Beam 2.0, that is. I didn't really mess with 1 very much. A great way to describe it is a modular effect playground, and they've added effects over time. This is a free update for anyone who has version 1. In Beam 2.0, they've made it so the effects within Beam can also be used as standalone plugins. They've added a new effect known as Haze, which includes chorus, dispersion, and reverb. They've added 80 new impulses, including tonal, dispersion, and noise blur, as well as 60 new node presets. They've included some major filter updates with new filter types and roll-off control, modulation updates with a new LFO, and side chaining. They've also added mid-side control per path, as well as some major performance upgrades, as well as quality of life improvements. And they've also stated that the user interface is 50% faster. I'm assuming they mean it performs better. I don't know exactly, that's what they wrote here. 50% faster user interface. Some of the effects included with it include space, grains, haze, which is a new one, powerful filters, and then one of the most attractive features about it is the dynamic graph, which gives you the ability to create complex effect layouts with, Final Fantasy notes. You can obviously modulate as well. They've added one more LFO. It's got an envelope follower, macro control. One of the biggest critiques I still have towards it is just a limited amount of modulation you could do. It's still a great effect, and it's pretty good for the price, but maybe down the road they could add more modulation ability. And then one of the newest things they've added is the ability to use effects standalone, which obviously could be great if you're concerned about CPU performance. That's it really. I can't really think of what else it would really be useful for. Yeah, CPU performance, I don't know. I don't know. So in total, there is over 300 presets, 200 impulse responses, 150 node presets, 4 standalone effects, preset generator, an expanding ecosystem. Hey, that's pretty cool. They have a review here from Daedalus. Really quickly, I'm going to show you a few demos of what it can sound like. Really quickly, I just want to say it's an interesting choice to put L just as the watermark in every guy. Get your name as Lunacy, but it's like the worst letter in the alphabet, man. I don't know what to tell you, man. Honestly, you guys should put W in the corner. So they're showing off some demos of what the singular effects sound like on different source material. I will say this, when they first released this, I was a lot more disappointed in it than I am now because there's a lot of focus on having an impressive graphic user interface, which don't get me wrong, I am all for. I just want to make sure that the content within it is substantial. And I think when they first released it, it didn't really have enough to justify the price. I can't really remember off the top of my head, but I remember that's the way I felt about it at the time. But at this point, I think they're doing a pretty good job. I already know some of my more experienced viewers are probably like, hey, that seems a lot like Infiltrator. Are you saying don't use Infiltrator anymore? Well, obviously make your own decisions, but I mean, they both, okay, this Shaperbox and Infiltrator, they all have some slight differences. And just for me personally, I like to use presets with a lot of these, or at least starting points with presets. So like the more of these I have, the better when it comes to like flipping a sound or just like changing the character of it somehow. That's just me, at least. That's my take on it. So I appreciate all of those plugins. Like, I mean, we could even crank out a few more of those. I mean, as long as the presets sound different, hey, I'm all for it. Now, obviously, it can get much more crazy if you want to combine effects and the way you change the modulation and whatnot. In this demo here, they mainly just showcased individual effects. If you're interested in Beam, it is on sale for $59, normal price $99, and there's a bundle for $99, normal price $159. If you're considering buying this plugin, don't do it because of this video, but if you do decide to buy it, consider doing it via the Plugin Boutique link down in the description. It's an affiliate link, great way to support the channel without paying any extra money. You put some money in my pocket. In our next store, we have a free plugin for a limited time known as VISAGE by GOOEY Audio. I'm sure there's some joke to make about that, something related to cum. I don't know. I got nothing here. I'll pass that off to you guys. It is free until June 3rd. And it will have a normal price of $29.99. I think after June 3rd, it'll be $9.99, and I'm not sure how long the sale price is for. It's a stereo fattener pan sculptor, and it features 4 GOOEY graphs. Hey, I don't know why they're gooey, all right? You keep that to yourself, all right? I like my graphs not so gooey. Another important part is the stereo width feature. You can get really detailed with the curves that you create, and what I would hope is an easier way than in your DAW drawing automation. At the very least, it is blown up pretty big. It does seem like it can give you easier access to more complex panning and stereo widening, so it doesn't seem like a total bust. Let's check out what it sounds like. Okay, so you got a little demo there. You got a little taste of what the panning sounds like. I mean, I think most of you probably knew what the panning probably sounded like, but it sounded like you could do some pretty complex panning, I'm assuming pretty easily. Let's see if there's anything else important in this video.
This is VISAGE, a stereo fattener and pan sculpting plugin by GOOEY. VISAGE comes with 1 macro control, 4 GOOEY graphs, 2 panning controls, a stereo fattener, 25 factory presets.
25 factory presets. I don't know what's going on here, guy. You got a 1 HP voice though. We need to get you some. We need to get this guy some health pots. All right. We need to get this guy some health pots stat. He's about to die. All right. This is not all right.
And a number of pre-configured graphs to make it easy for you to stay in the moment.
With the 1 HP voice to help you stay in the moment. If you guys are interested in this, I'll link it down in the description. How's that for my 1 HP voice? Could be useful, especially if you want to experiment with some strange panning very quickly with some sort of presets. That's the main benefit I could see to some sort of panning plugin. Okay, so this is an update to an older story. You guys may remember a while back, Snoop Dogg was talking about how he got paid like nothing from Spotify. Well, apparently they're on good terms now. He was originally going to focus on releasing on some sort of blockchain platform. Of course he was. And basically he talked with Spotify. So he recently released a new album called Is It a Crime? If we're talking laundering money from your employees, yes. And I'm not talking about Snoop Dogg doing that. I don't know if he does or doesn't do that, but the whole publishing thing seemed pretty sketchy. Not that it was Spotify's fault. It seemed like it may have been the people working for Snoop Dogg, in my opinion. So basically, a while back, he talked about how he got 1 billion streams on Spotify, and it was only $45,000. But the thing that was always confusing to me and other people was he mentioned his publisher. So was this just publishing money or was this the royalty money? He didn't really clarify that. But he stated that he had a conversation with the executives and that they stopped talking about each other and started to talk to each other. Bro, this post is awful. That's terrible. All right, so who's joining the Gooner Gang Green on Spotify? You guys gonna rep that color? What the fuck, bro? This cannot be real, dude. In our last story of the night here, Hornet Plugins has released an update to an older plugin, now known as TOTALEQ Mark II. I know what you guys are saying already. I'm saying the same thing here. We got enough EQ plugins. What the fuck are they bringing to the table right now? I don't know. Let's find out, all right? I'm not expecting much. Let me just say that. So one of the biggest upgrades they've included is that you can now utilize 36 bands instead of 12. One of the cool things I see about this EQ is you can do analog emulation per band with a saturation amount ranging from 1 to 10, which they tout having subtle warmth or rich harmonic color. There's also a one-click balance feature. With harmonic, it will remove resonances and inconsistencies, and balance EQ adjusts tonal tilt and adds a clean high-pass filter. So those seem like some of the benefits over using something like Pro Q4. There's a bunch more features here, but I don't want to bore you guys to death. I don't have as many subscribers as I'd like to have, so I don't want to kill you guys. If you're interested in it, there is a fully functional demo, except for some silence every so often, and then you can buy it for 34.99 euros. If you're interested in this plugin, there will be a link to it down in the description. Okay guys, that is it for this video. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new here if you want to stay up to date to the music and music production news. If you guys want to support the content and what I do here, consider joining my Patreon or becoming a channel member. For as low as $5 a month, you get access to exclusive content, outtakes, and other goodies. See you guys next time.